In this video, we'll be covering the multiple choice questions for the Unit 11B test. So this first one is asking you to translate an infinitive correctly. You notice that none of the options are to, and then you also notice that this is a head verb, making this probably introducing an indirect statement. And so the main verb is present, the infinitive is perfect, so this will be translated as a simple perfect, saw. Next one, gis isse. So dicitur is often used to translate an infinitive regularly. And so gis isse is perfect active, so I'm looking for the perfect active infinitive, to have worn. Ad ire, again, is a simple use of the infinitive because it's with the verb poterat, is not able, and this is present passive, so to be heard. Scripturum esse, this is part of an indirect statement because it has a head verb introducing it. This is the future, this is present, and so present with the future infinitive will translate as a simple future. Will write. Cornelia dixit, and now so this is asking you what the subject, what case is the subject in for an indirect statement, because it says Cornelia said that her brother lived on the island, and the subject of an indirect statement is in the accusative. And so Caesar and his family wrote, and now this is a perfect verb and this is a perfect infinitive. So I'm going to translate it as past perfect. So that he had been captured by pirates. So you're looking for the had, because perfect plus perfect is translated pluperfect. So again, another perfect plus perfect will be translated as pluperfect, had been defended. And again, this is asking you what case is the subject of an indirect statement. I know that the Romans, which would be accusative, rule well. And so King Minos ordered that the Minotaur to be held. So this is the present passive infinitive, so we translate it as a present passive. And then lastly, this is a perfect head verb with a future infinitive, which would be translated as would. So this next one, again, is an indirect statement. You have a perfect head verb and a perfect infinitive. Perfect plus perfect is translated past perfect, had. Again, this next question is asking you what case is the subject of an indirect statement, and the subject of an indirect statement is accusative. This is just testing you to translate in a simple infinitive, will attempt, and this is just simply present active, to please. Again, this is indirect statement. I've got a present head verb and a present infinitive, so this will translate in the present, lives. I have another indirect statement infinitive. I have a present head verb and a perfect infinitive, so this will just translate as a simple perfect, defeated. So now I have a present head verb and a perfect infinitive, and so it'll translate as a simple perfect, that she will weave. I have a present head verb and a perfect infinitive. This will translate as a simple perfect, was sent. The subject of an indirect statement is what this is asking, is in the accusative. I have present head verb, perfect infinitive. This will be a simple perfect fought. Ovid tells us that the gods, this is the subject of the indirect statement, and so this will be accusative. This is an ablative absolute. It's a review question. So after the plan had been formed, literally with the plan having been adopted, and so this is the one that most closely represents that generic. So this is a tricky one. So you want to have was translate. So if you have a perfect head verb and you want it was, a simple perfect tense, you'll use a present infinitive because this verb here is happening at the same time as the main verb. And so to reflect that, you'll use a present tense infinitive. So this one, thought had left. So to get had left, you're going to need a perfect head verb, which is right here, and a perfect infinitive, which is right here. Said that he would return, so said is a perfect verb, and to get would using a perfect head verb, you would use a simple future. So it's a future infinitive. This is the idiom we learned in this chapter, and to solare natam is to set sail. So it's to launch a ship. Oh, excuse me, this is not the idiom. This is just paid the sailor. This is just a simple one. This is not the idiom, this is a tricky one. It's just paid the sailor. Since they had lost hope, this is an ablative absolute, and so you're looking for a participle and an ablative agreeing, and that would be spe relicta, with hope having been lost. Caesar ordered Vercingetorix to surrender arms, and so you want a simple present active infinitive to answer this one. The Greeks and the Romans believed that the gods were immortal, and so to get that translation, I want an infinitive, because this is looking for the verb of an indirect statement. The men sent ahead, and so this would be the perfect passive participle, which would be primise. Able to speak, and this is a weird one. This is a deponent, but that is the infinitive. It's the passive form, but it's deponents always have that, so that's just a weird one in this test. To have read is the perfect active infinitive. Are about to attack, and so this would be our soldiers are about to attack, and so this is just a simple future, and so this is the way you use make a future that way is the future active participle plus the form assume. They said they would help. This would be the future active infinitive to get the would. Minuturi sunt. Again, this is another simple future. Are about to build. Soldiers are about to build a road. Was about to, again, the same thing. I'm looking for a future active infinitive and a form of sum. And so, Isurus erat, was about to eat. The historian said that Ostia was the most outstanding, and so this is the subject of an indirect statement, and so this would be in the accusative. Again, down here, this is the subject of an indirect statement, and so this would be in the accusative. The 10th legion was in Gaul, so I'm looking for the accusative there. So after the oracle, Agamemnon ordered his daughter, and this would be to be led to the altar, so this would be the present passive infinitive. Caesar said that safety of the people is the highest law, or Cicero said this. And again, this is the subject of an indirect statement, and so that would be in the accusative. And a future active participle plus a form assume is translated as a future, is about to sail. To have written is perfect active infinitive. Would descend is a future infinitive. Hannibal did not think that the men and animals, this is the subject of an indirect statement, and so this would be in the accusative case. Thought had prepared, so to get had in an indirect statement, you need a perfect head verb and a perfect infinitive, and so that would be here. Adiri is translated as a simple present passive to be heard. Victorum esse is a future with a past verb that's translated as would conquer. Esse with present tense infinitive with the present tense main verb is translated as a simple present is. And scensurum is the future active infinitive, so that's a will climb. So this is lada wisse is to have praised. This is a perfect active infinitive. That's the way it's translated. Urus is another future, and this would be will come. This is looking for the subject of an indirect statement. That would be the accusative, legatos. So a perfect main verb and a perfect infinitive is translated past perfect, had seen. Again, a perfect main verb with a perfect infinitive is translated as had been seen.